To know what's past is to prepare for what's to come.
Hello agents, I'm Susanna Moyer and this is the Ingress Report. Over the last few weeks, agents around the globe have been engaged in a fierce and protracted global chess match to control the Helios artifacts. At this point, 25 of the expected 40 artifacts have been observed around the world. Agents from both factions have collaborated to move the artifacts more than 300,000 kilometers through the portal network, at various times crossing both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans and touching every continent except Antarctica. Agents have been working around the clock, coordinating across language barriers and thousands of miles in an attempt to control these powerful objects for their faction. As of this report, the Resistance were in the lead, having successfully captured 8 Helios artifacts, the Enlightened trail with 3. The final 15 artifacts are expected to manifest on September 10th. The question, of course, is where? 2 major weekends remain in the Helios Anomaly series, Minneapolis and Bogota on September 6th, and the finale in Munich and Tacoma on September 27th. In addition, a new event has surfaced, planned in my hometown of London on September 24th at the DICE conference. The stakes are bigger than ever. The Bogdanovich Virus has been temporarily rolled back, but the very future of exotic matter hinges on the successful capture of the artifacts. Furthermore, the faction that captures the anomalies and the artifacts will be in control of whatever event this triggers. While we don't yet know what that is, it appears to be big. Big enough to frighten Roland Jarvis and spark the interest of nearly every company and individual involved in XM to date. The challenges and opportunities presented by the Helios artifacts united agents from across the globe. Here is a story of how agents have leveraged Ingress for social change. In Eltham College in Melbourne, Australia, Agent Kingerz has been using Ingress as an educational tool for teenage students. I reached out to him to find out what he hoped Ingress would impart on the agents of the future.
With Ingress, I took this through a process where we looked with my fellow teachers at maths, arts and English, and we thought, how can we get our kids to use this stuff out there in the real world instead of just classrooms?
Can you explain to us how and why you decided to share Ingress with your students?
I sort of saw a convergence of these technologies, and I think everyone did to a point. I mean, it's true that these things have changed teaching, but how they can actually make the difference in a student's life can be really amazing. So what they do is really bridge the gap between the knowledge people get in the classroom and the actual understanding that they need in the real world.
How have your students responded to Ingress and this kind of education?
A lot of the boys and girls, because there are a lot of girls involved in it, were obsessed with racing through the levels. You know, they were sort of, they were saying we're getting something out of this that we're not getting in normal school, where there's a goal and you can achieve something.
How has Ingress enriched your life?
I use my mountain bike, which I used at the Anomaly, and I found it's the best way to get around. And on my GPS, I've done about 2,000 kilometers in that time. That's all about just going around, because there's lots of portals around where we live. Just encourages you to go that little bit further.
And so you kind of learn a bit about the history of your surroundings and things that you really haven't before. Yeah, really.
What is it you like about Ingress?
I like with Ingress getting up and getting around, going places, just like what Wyatt said, going places you've never been before and probably don't know they were there.
Agent Kingerz, thanks to you and your students for being with us today.
Absolute pleasure, we've really enjoyed it, thank you.
Other inspiring stories emerged this week. In Canberra, Australia, the resistance group REACTR assisted a fellow agent, Midget Warrior, who had accidentally deleted his account, return to level 8 in just one day with Operation Boomerang. Over the course of the operation, the team built a 9-layer onion field, destroyed opposition farms while building their own, and even attended a geoscience event. The mission was completed in 14.5 hours. In Romania, Agent Husenko, Lord Nevermore, Glass Explorer, Ovids, Nagal 1294, iDrone 69, and Big Cloud took a day trip to Victoria, Covasna, and Kaya, establishing a 244,000 mine unit field over the city of Brasov. And finally, in a day of airborne adventure, Agent Lopaka 17 hired a helicopter to claim the Eagle's Roost sculpture near Watsonville, California, for the Enlightened in Operation Airstrike. Last week we uncovered a surveillance video which appeared to show Roland Jarvis limping into an unknown facility. This week the full video was released. Jarvis walks briskly back to his vehicle after workers are seen dragging what appear to be bodies into the same facility. More disturbingly, those same two workers are shown being executed afterwards by Hank Johnson's friend and associate as Marty. Analysis by the research group Essex claims that the video shows Jarvis being cured of his XM deficiency illness brought on by the Bogdanovich portal virus. As Marty was with Hank Johnson when Dark XM created Hank's simulacrum, as we discovered during 13 Magnus. Is it possible that Dark XM is an element of the cure? Intriguingly, we recently obtained a recording by Hank Johnson which pertains specifically to the nature and the powers of Dark XM.
Dark XM is a form of exotic matter that can interact with the physical world in ways we are only beginning to understand. It's incredibly volatile and has only been discovered in a few areas on the planet. Most of them ancient and deeply, deeply buried. One of the only known sources is an impact crater in the Congo that I had a chance to visit. Sort of an eventful journey. It's a rough place. I'm pretty certain that Hulong upturned their stockpile of Dark XM from there. The ancients also knew it was there, but they looked at it as a form of alchemy. It was far more powerful than that. When exposed to living material in sufficiently high quantities, Dark XM causes immediate and irreversible physical damage. Body tissue is charred, almost fossilized in a way, upon contact. But its full effect on humans and on the portals themselves is not yet fully understood. Hopefully I'll get to change that. I think Dark XM may have been used in the process through which I was able to live on after I was shot and died in Afghanistan. The ancient 13 Magnus cult may have learned some of the secrets of Dark XM. Dr. Linton Wolfe exploited Dark XM to create the XMP, the first exotic matter weapon, and also used it in a concentrated form to attack Roland Jarvis. The XM didn't destroy him, however. It somehow shattered him into 13 fragments, frozen in the portals. And those were reassembled by Enlightened agents, and he emerged stronger than before. Is Dark XM a pathway to immortality, death, and decay, or both? I don't yet know, but I want to find out. I need to find out.
Hank Johnson has been missing since June of this year, the date when his XM-infused body allegedly dematerialized. Some believe that he will return. Perhaps he already has. Agents, tune in next week for more field reports and updates on unfolding events as the Helios struggle continues. And Hank, if you're out there, I hope you're safe. For the Ingress Report, I'm Susanna Moyer.
I feel like I'm really beginning to understand you.